to kick off for Las Vegas.
The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They go play fake. Mahomes. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Carl Nassib. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
He was taken down at the 20.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. The toss right to Henry. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
And it's 3rd down.
Now it's Darnold. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted.
Darnold's pass.
Picked off at the 23.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And to give this time to the tailback. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
10 at the 49-yard line.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Mahomes going to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Darnold. And right side, Henry's got it. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Letting one go deep for the end zone. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there. And now it's 4th down.
Incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. Oh, it's no good. Carlson pushed it to the right. And this will remain a scoreless game. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They begin with a quick throw out left. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
No score.
We're scoreless after 1.
make these babies cry all the way back. Mike 28. Mike 28. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Back, back, back. Hey, 43. Yellow.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Throwing now is Mahomes. That's who is running back, Edwards-Helaire. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense that looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From midfield, here's Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And given the elements, this might have been what we would have expected, Charles. Scoreless into the 2nd quarter.
The elements have definitely played a part in this game, a big part. And I think that both teams have been a little slow to adjust their playbook and start playing to whatever their strengths are in these conditions.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
At the Chiefs' 47-yard line.
Derrick Henry. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Back to throw, Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Darnold, normally being a big-bodied receiver, plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
At the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
At the 37-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up second.
4 yards remain for second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
He was brought down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
4th down.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a first down. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
10 yards.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
2 yards, good enough for a first. Darnold completes it. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
At the 30-yard line.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. And that'll set them back 5. False start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the up. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Darnold picked up by Charvarius Ward. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
2nd and 6 at the 15-yard line.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Mahomes quickly complete out wide. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
At the 8-yard line.
So first and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. Geis, they'll try to run it. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal.
Watch the pass. 57's the mark. Mark 57. What we got? What we got? What we got? Show it up. Show it up. He's crashing. 15. 36.
They'll try to run this one in. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. Here we go with Geis. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. We don't see too many scoreless halves in football, not in today's day and age, and we're not going to see one here. We finally have points on the board.
Yeah, and it didn't come easy, did it? Because neither of these offenses really gotten out of the starting blocks yet. But that is definitely an important score right there. Who knows? The way their defenses play, that touchdown might even hold up until the end.
Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done.
And Darnold going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Ron Thornhill. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
3rd down and 4.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. CD, for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better, and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So we're in halftime in this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. He's got a man complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Henry Ruggs, 75 yards. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7.
Daniel Carlson to kick off for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Taken about 7 yards deep and not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this. This one hits a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
A lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on second down. Mahomes looking for his running back, and he's got him. Mahomes 6 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's third down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Let's put that team on the bus. Hey, 15. Hey, check.
Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. He loses 4, and it brings up 4.
4-yard loss.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to the back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Nate Gehring. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Switch it. Number 28, Mike, he's coming, check in.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. The kidder here, it's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Goal to go.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Don't be scared of it. He's coming. We got double up.
Now Mahomes. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
Sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Here's another 1st and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. Check 26. 43. Yellow.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on 2nd and goal.
Hey, Ridley. He's coming. Check in. You ain't going nowhere. Like 28. Come on, baby.
Here's Mahomes to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. From 6 yards away. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Harrison Butker on for the point after.
No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep, and he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Nick Bosa. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
You know, I sat down with my accountant. He said, I got good news and I got bad news. I said, what's the good news?
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Play action. It's Darnold. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at about the 31. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
At the 11-yard line.
Looking in zone, but it's incomplete. The tight end Kelsey was the intended target, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Butker's kick here is good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll run it again with Henry. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
And the Raider 1st down.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 45-yard line. Darnold. And that is incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. 23 yards, the final tally.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here we go. Hey, number 28, Mike, he's coming. Check in. I got him. Kill.
Now here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Completes it to Hardman. And his bid for the 1st down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
A short game that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
He's coming. Check in. Bound to lose 1.
They'll try and run for it. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off right around the 43. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That good for 19 and a 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a handoff looking right. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And they give this time to the tailback. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division. But they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game. A message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Let's go. That's 22, Mike 22. Come on.
On 2nd and a yard, Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 22. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
Corey Littleton there on the tackle.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, We're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. So that'll back him up 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Let's go. Let's 57's left. Oh, you got deep? Hey, 43, 15.
Mahomes now to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And at this point, maybe you say, you know, it was a good effort really just to make the playoffs. They couldn't win their division but did earn a wild card berth. It does appear, however, that their season...
And the Chiefs are going to get him.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Another try after the first down sack. Darnold. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. He's going to let it fly. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is fielded at the 27.
Oh, you got to feel it, baby.
A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here.
Today's final score. Chiefs.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long from Kansas.